tonight about board game accessories. So we love board games, and we love loving board games. But sometimes a board game, you just wish it had something a bit more, don't you? And then this is where board game accessories come in. It's a whole subgenre of our nerdy ass culture,
Yes.
where people literally will buy things to make things either better, more organized, or just prettier in general.
If you guys can just give us a few minutes, we're just going to pour some glasses of scotch while we talk about board game accessories, because you can spend as much as you want on board game accessories.
Don't even get me started on it. Oh my God. All right, I'm going to go first, okay? So we're going to tell you about some of the accessories and maybe some stories. I'll start with a story, which is that,
Sure.
yeah, look, as everyone, if you've listened to this podcast before, one of my favorite board games of all time is Twilight Imperium. And last year with my tax money, I decided that I really wanted to get the insert for Twilight Imperium. So I got the insert, which cost about $80 just for a whole bunch of the folded space insert. And then I went, that's really cool and all. I really would love to get a custom game mat. So I did. And I found a guy on Etsy who lives in Spain, and he makes a custom game mat for the whole 8-player variant of Twilight. So I bought that. That was over $120. And then I went, well, you know, they've got the 3 codexes that they've released for this game. Well, someone's obviously got to be making versions of those cards, right? Yes. And so I bought those as well. So like I don't do this for every game, right? But for some games, I do feel like the added like
I do
things can add to the game.
I do want to say, like, because my other friends who's got Twilight Imperium, I unboxed his copy and set it up at my house through the years. When I unboxed your copy and set it up at my place to play that game, my goodness, the production detail, that accessory, that was so nice.
I will say, so there is a story there where Ralph and I had only just started gaming together. It was actually the first time that I met this wider group. We had a game of TI. We hit the 11-hour mark. And then finally, we've just gone, look, YouTube, it literally came down to just rolls of the dice. We actually geared it, and we said, look, you guys roll. That's it. Rolled, had a winner. We took photos. It was great. I was shattered by that point. And there were so many of us. Ralph was saying, it's fine. Look, I'll pack it up in the morning. We were going, no, we're all going to help you. I have done these ones where I've just said, look, I'll put it away for you. And I held the box in front and I started to just swipe all the pieces. The look on Ralph's face. Just a look of just
because, like, to be honest, to pack up a game like that, you know, I put some music on. Like, it's a nice hour of my time. I enjoy that. It's therapeutic.
It's also not the pack. It's the unpack the next time you play the game.
You know you're going to play it again at some point in your lifetime. But I do want to say on Playmat, one of my close friends, he loves Dune Imperium as well.
Yeah. That's
awesome. He loves Eclipse as well. Did he end up buying the Eclipse one?
The Eclipse mat is next
So
level.
he bought the Eclipse mat and a Dune Imperium mat that has the expansion inbuilt into the mat, I believe. It's something else. Like, to play a game directly on a mat is just a nice luxury.
And like for listeners who don't realize the value of it. So, for instance, I rave on about the game mat. So basically, I've got a game mat by a company.
The neoprene mats, first of all.
Neoprene game mat, and
they're about 2-3 mil.
Yes, the one I've got is a 3 mil thick mat, and it's stitched all the way around, which means it doesn't fray. Now, I don't have the one I'm talking about isn't game specific, but the reason why it's important is because when you try and pick up a card off
my table is the worst for it. I know
you can't get your fingers underneath it normally. You have to slide the whole card off,
or you bend the card.
Yeah. A game mat, because it has that little bit of
flex,
it means that you can actually push on the card and the top of the card flicks up. That is massive, and
it's so good.
And also, it's kind of like if you ever played on a poker table. I know that's felt, it's a bit different, but the cards still sort of slide and stop.
A bit of slide.
And also rolling dice. This doesn't happen.
The dice actually bounce a bit.
Yeah, and it's soft. You don't get this weird, like, you get this shake when you shake it, but you don't get.
I do love that sound. Part of me does love that sound. But I will say, I agree with you. Like, the mats are really they're expensive. They can be, because they generally screen printed on people and they stitch them.
But that's the thing. Like, I decided I didn't want a dedicated mat. I just got like a nice blue Galaxy. Most of my games are sort of space games anyway. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I play Gloomhaven on a space themed mat. doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
Well, I haven't set it up either, but in previous podcasts, you will have seen the black mat over my table as
Yeah.
well, and that was not, and that's like not a felt neoprene thing, and I literally made that from Spotlight. Got a piece of fabric, rolled it out, and then I sewed in some clips.
But
and
it does elevate the experience.
It does help, right?
Yeah.
So it does help. I mean, other things that do help as well. I mean, like coming back to inserts, right? I know we've talked about. So I'm big into 3D printing.
Yep.
So I have 3D printed like inserts for some of the smaller game boxes. You can like make modular game boxes. There's a huge community out there who are people who are literally coming up with storage solutions for game pieces and game boxes. That's a huge one, really. But if you don't have a 3D printer, I've also gone to a craft shop before, and for my copy of Flamme Rouge, I got the Peloton expansion. And I then just got some PVA glue and some foam core, and I literally made an insert just by having a Stanley knife, measure and a ruler, and just measured out, cut it with a Stanley knife, and then just glued it with PVA, and that was my fold. And that was my insert.
If you're getting a bit artsy, like I made up my own copy of Blood on the Clock Tower by repurposing other components from a legacy game that I beat in the past.
Love that.
So like you can go creative with Spotlight. In regards to 3D printers, that is an accessory you can go down. I just want to point out there are a lot of local libraries that have access to 3D printing that you can actually take STL files down and have done for you, which is not a lot of people know about.
Yeah, and also in terms of storage, there are particularly some of the larger games. If you're having issues with bits and pieces, like for instance, I've got Zaya. The insert that I have for Zaya is from the first edition of the game. It doesn't work all that well. Once you have the expansion. Kmart Plano boxes cost me $7.
Yeah,
it was
true.
amazing.
So those Kmart boxes, but also during gameplay, little bowls. Like Nee's just grabbed a little bowl. These are some 3D printed ones.
Yeah, so I 3D printed these ones. They also have the ability to have little magnets in there so they can clip onto each other. I didn't have the magnets, so they're there. But I also went one step further, which is that I actually got a piece of cork, like a cork sheet. And my school the place where I work has access to a laser cutter. So I was very fortunate that I was able to do it. But I designed and cut into the cork using the laser cutter, a design that I made a few years back. So this doubles as a coaster on one side and a game bowl on the other.
So you can't have a drink and play a game at the same time.
No, you know how I rectified that? I printed 10 more of these.
Genius play.
However, there are, if people want to have a look on Pinterest, you can actually search it up on Google as well. There are some people who they've actually turned cereal boxes, and they actually have a template that you can.
I have seen that,
you can cut and fold your own little token bowls.
Yes,
really,
just out of cardboard. And
I haven't seen that.
And it holds and it folds flat as well.
There are a whole bunch of things on Board Game Geek as well. People coming up with
there
crafts.
There are some brilliant things, and it's free. It's just stuff you'd normally put in the recycle bin.
I don't have cereal and I don't have a 3D printer, so I just got Kmart bowls, like just little things.
Honestly.
I think the ones I use are actually designed for toddlers to like eat things from.
They're actually real
like
push.
Small solid, but they do great for
IKEA bowls.
I was gonna say
IKEA bowls,
the 10-pack of colored bowls that you get for kids from IKEA. They're amazing.
That's
they cost like
that's
$5
what I use.
or something.
Yeah, and look, we haven't even gone into things like card sleeves, so like if you can't get a neoprene mat, card sleeves really help as well because they give you that little bit of extra.
I do want to say they can get expensive.
They can get very
sleeves.
expensive.
So like I sleeved all of Ark Nova, and to be honest, it was like half the price of the game. By the time I ended up with all the sleeves that I went for. I found nowadays I only sleeve games I think I want to keep forever.
Then that's fair enough.
But there's some games that are ridiculous to even think about sleeving. I feel.
I tend to agree. Like I used to sleeve almost everything. Now I only sleeve the games that I really worry about being able to replace, like my Blood Rage, my or
Your Quacks of Quedlinburg.
No, like I know that's only like 10
No,
sleeves
didn't you-
anyway.
didn't you
but
do-
no. That's the other thing.
No, that's the other thing. So
that's what I meant. I know they're not
my
card.
copy of
copy.
Quacks. So Quacks of Quedlinburg has got all the tokens in it.
Yep.
And the tokens you pull them out of the bag. The problem that we were having, we played Quacks a lot during lockdown.
Yeah.
And basically,
you're shaking the bag.
But what happens is that as your fingers rub against these cardboard tokens, they actually start to wear away at the ink.
Yeah.
So I bought coin capsules.
Yeah.
It took a long time for them to come in because I went the cheapest, nastiest coin capsules. capsules you could get at the time. Took
Just little
months.
plastic caps you get.
They're literally like capsules.
They're coin cases. They're mainly used for like collector coins.
But I found out that these particular sizes, whatever size it was perfect for the Quacks tokens.
My Arkham Horror uses a bit bigger than Quacks, and I use the coin cases. But basically, any game where you're going to be dealing with a lot of tokens frequently, I would use coin cases.
I will admit, I know that would have been a pain in the butt, but
it was
the first time I played your copy, Ralph, with those, I was like, oh my God.
Oh, they make the sound when you jiggle the
so
back.
good.
However,
so good.
in saying that though, if people really want to go a little bit extra, and if people are interested in diving into this very, very deep pool, check out the Board Game Geek marketplace.
Yeah, there's so much stuff there.
You can actually check out the Geek store. You can actually buy resin versions of Quacks.
Yeah.
Resin
Really?
tokens.
Yeah,
Yes.
That would be cool.
People come up with so
man.
much different
They
stuff.
cost about $110 Australian to get all the tokens. For
There
all
was
the
someone who was
expansions.
teaching you how you could do it yourself.
Yeah,
You
that
wanted to.
costs
Really?
even more to do
Really?
it. To do it.
I
at
have to check this out. It
port
sounds
acrylic.
really cool.
Well,
There is one accessory that I do want to buy, and I haven't
please
done it
do.
because it's purely like, I don't know, it feels like a selfish thing.
Yeah.
Like a board game bag. Something where you can
Ah,
actually
yeah.
properly put,
to
you
take
know,
away.
6 board games that are the normal box size and
Yeah.
just put it on your back.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I do think
I
that.
haven't taken the plunge on that one.
Mine is paper money. Paper money is hot garbage.
Yeah.
Get yourself
Iron
poker
clay.
chips.
Yeah,
Iron
those poker
clays.
chips.
If you can,
Yeah.
if you can find them at a good price, get a set of iron clays.
I can
They
tell you
are
what-
amazing.
I can tell you what mine is. It's a board game table. I know it's so like with the most expensive accessory you can, but I want to get a board game table that doubles as my dining table because that's all the rage at the moment. And
You
to
can
be
eat
honest-
board games.
Huh?
You can eat
could-
board games.
I could eat board
Yeah,
games.
board
That's
games.
exactly right. But that's my big one that I'm working towards at the moment. I do want to replace this and get like an 8-seater freaking
Yeah.
board game table.
So if you're
That'd be amazing.
a table making company,
Matt has one.
we would love to
so-
review it.
Yeah.
Gameway or
Yeah, I think Matt's got a Gameway.
Matt's got a Gameway, so
Yeah.
that he really enjoys it, and
Yeah, it
we
looks
have played it.
amazing.
We did play TI on it, so we have used that table. We have christened it, so it was really
That's
good.
really great.
Nice.
So it was good.
Yeah,
but
it got a bit soaked in the water, but it's all good.
anyway, that's gonna bring us to the end of this episode, guys. This has been a lot of a fun one. We're a bit cheeky tonight, but that's what happens when we haven't actually recorded. Like hopefully the schedules means that we've got the episodes coming out regularly. But I really enjoyed this one. This was a lot of
Yeah,
a
it's
fun
always
one.
fun.
If you did
Yeah.
enjoy